Okay, so our lesson starts at stage 3, paragraph page 201. Okay, and our last head word was what's
Alone.
a long, newer type of lesson. Okay, so let's start with our revision. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. First question. What does the verb to talk mean? What does the verb to talk mean? The verb to talk
A verb
means
to
to
talk
speak.
means to speak.
Do you talk to your friends on your mobile every day? Do you talk to your friends on your mobile every day? Yes or no?
No, I don't talk to my friends
On
every
my
day
on
on my
my
mobile
mobile every day.
every day.
Very good. What does the teacher generally do if you start talking to the student next to you during the lesson? What does the teacher generally do if you start talking to the student next to you during the lesson? If I start talking
If I
to the
start
student
talking
next to
to
me
the friend next to
during the
me,
lesson, the teacher generally
teacher
asks me
generally
to
ask
stop
me to
talking.
stop talking.
Is it right to say I am talking English? Is it right to say I am talking English? No, it
No,
isn't
it
right to
isn't
say
right to
I am
say
talking
I am
English.
talking
It's wrong.
English. It's wrong.
What must we say instead? What must we say instead? We must say
We
I'm
must say,
speaking English
I'm
instead.
speaking English instead.
Can you hear any voices in the next room? Can you hear any voices in the next room? Yes or no?
No, I can't hear
Any
any voices
voices in
in
the
the
next room?
next room.
Very good. What's the past tense of the verb to do? What's the past tense of the verb to do? The past tense of the verb
Tense
to
of the
do
verb to
is did.
do is did.
Very good. Okay. How do we form the past tense of regular verbs? How do we form the past tense of regular verbs? We form the past tense
In
of
a past
regular
tense,
verbs by
regular
putting
verbs,
the letters
the
ed
letter
at the end.
ed at the end.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. For example, walk,
For
walk.
example, walk,
I
walk.
generally walk to school.
I generally walk to
I
school.
walked to school yesterday.
I walked to school yesterday.
Right? Did you watch television last week? Did you watch television last week? Yes, I watched
Yes, I walked
television
to
last week.
television last week.
Did you walk to school yesterday? Did you walk to school yesterday? Yes, I walked
Yes,
to
I
school
walked
yesterday.
to school yesterday.
What did you use to answer the last question? What did you use to answer the last question? I used my
I
voice
used the
to answer
voice
the
to
last question.
ask question.
When did last season end? When did last season end? Last season
The last
ended
season
on the
ended
month of
on
June.
the month of June.
Did you work last month? Did you work last month? Yes, I worked
Yes,
last
I
month.
worked last month.
Well, how long did last season last? How long did last season last? Last season
The last
lasted
season
about
lasted
three months.
about 3 months.
Did you live at home with your parents when you were a small child? Did you live at home with your parents when you were a small child? Yes, I
Yes,
lived
I
at
lived
home with my
at
parents
home with my
when
parents
I
when
was
I
a
was
small
a
child.
small child.
Did you move any parts of your body during the last lesson? Did you move any parts of your body during the last lesson? Yes, I
Yes, I
moved some
moved
parts of my
some
body
parts of my
during
body
the last lesson.
during
Very good. How do we make a negative sentence in the past tense? How do we make a negative sentence in the past tense? We make a negative
we make
sentence
a
in the
negative
past tense
sentence
by
in the past
using the
tense
word did
in the word
and
of
the
did
infinitive
and
without
the
to.
infinitive without to.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. I didn't work last
Didn't
Saturday.
work last Saturday.
How do we make a question in the past tense? How do we make a question in the past tense? We make a question
We
in
make
the
a
past tense
question in the
by
past
using the
tense
word
by
did
using the
and
word
the
did
infinitive
and
without to.
infinitive without to.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Did you work last
Did
Saturday?
you work last Saturday?
Did I ask you 1,000 questions last lesson? Did I
Did
ask
they
you
ask
a,
you
a
a
thousand question last
thousand
lesson?
last lesson?
No, you didn't ask me
You
a thousand
didn't ask
questions.
me
A
a hundred
thousand, a
a
thousand
thousand questions
last lesson.
last lesson.
Did last lesson end at 11 p.m.? Did last lesson end at 11 p.m.? No,
No,
last
the
lesson
last
didn't
lesson
end at
didn't end
11
at
p.m.
11.
It ended
It,
at
it
10 p.m.
ended at 10 p.m.
Did you talk to anybody in your family last week? Did you talk to anybody in your family last week? Yes or no?
Yes, I
I
talked to
to
somebody in
in my
my
family
family.
last week. Very good. Did you call anybody on your mobile phone yesterday? Did you call anybody on your mobile phone yesterday? Yes or no?
No, I didn't call anybody
On
on
my
my
mobile
mobile
phone
phone.
yesterday. Did you want to come to school today? Did you want to come to school today? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes, I want to come to school yet today.
Today.
Yesterday, today,
Today. Very good.
today.
Can you see any trees from where you're sitting? Can you see any trees from where you're sitting? Yes or no?
No,
I can
no, I can't
see some
see any
trees.
trees
Oh, that's great.
where I'm sitting.
Very good. Okay, do you live on a farm? Do you live on a farm? No, I
No,
don't
I
live
don't
on a
live on
farm.
a house.
What's the plural of sheep? What's the plural of sheep? The plural
The
of
poor
sheep is sheep.
sheep, sheep
Name some animals we can see on a farm. Name some animals we can see on a farm. On a farm, we
on
can
a
see
farm. We
pigs,
can see
cows,
pig,
sheep,
cows,
chickens,
pig,
and horses.
sheep, chickens, and horses.
Very good. Is there peace between all the countries of the world at the moment? Is there peace between all the countries of the world at the moment? No, there
No,
isn't peace between all the countries
the
of the
countries of the
world at the
world
moment.
at the moment.
Can we measure exactly the quantity of water in the sea? Can we measure exactly the quantity of water in the sea? No, we
No,
can't
I
measure
can't
exactly the
see
quantity
the
of water in the
quantity
sea.
of water in the sea.
Very good. Is it necessary to study a lot if we want to learn a subject well? Is it necessary to study a lot if we want to learn a subject well? Yes,
Yes,
it's
it is
necessary to
necessary
study a lot
what if
if we
you want
want to learn a subject
to
well.
learn subject well.
Very good. When you have a meal in a restaurant, do you generally pay by cash or by card? When you have a meal in a restaurant, do you generally pay by cash or by card? When I have
When
a meal in a
at
restaurant, I
I
generally
generally
pay by,
pay
yeah.
by card.
And who takes the card from you? And who takes the card from you? The waiter or
The
waitress
waiter
takes the
or
card
waiter
from
takes
me.
card for me.
Very good. Okay. If I want to go from there to the station, must I go along ABC Street? If I want to go from there to the station, must I go along ABC Street? Yes. If you want
Yes,
to
if
go
you
from
want to
here to the station,
from here to the
you must
station,
go along ABC
go
Street.
along ABC Street.
Which streets do you walk along when you go home? Which street do you walk along when you go home? I walk along
I walk along ABC
when
Street
I
when
go
I
home.
go home.
Is there a white line along the road from there to the next town? Is there a white line along the road from there to the next town? Yes, there's a
Yes,
white line
there is one
along the
line
road from here to the next
along the
town.
road to the next town.
Which is the quickest way to the station from there? Which is the quickest way to the station from there? The quickest way
The
to the
quickest
station
way
from
to the
here
station
is to
from
go
here
along
to
ABC
go
Street.
along ABC Street.
Which is the best way to remember something very well? Which is the best way to remember something very well? The best way
The
to
best way
remember
to
something very well is to
very
repeat it
well
often.
repeat and
Repeat it
and
often.
often.
Very good. Do you know the way from there to town by road? Do you know the way from there to town by road? Yes, I know the way
It's
from
not the
here
way
to
from
town
here
by
to
road.
by road.
What's the best way to learn a language? What's the best way to learn a language? The best way
The best
to learn a
way to
language is to
is
repeat, repeat, and repeat.
repeat, 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 and repeat.
All repeat. Very good. And that's the end of our revision. Let's have new work. Very good.
Mhm.
Okay, repeat. How often?
How often?
Very good. Okay, listen. How often means how many times? For example, how many times do you come here? I come here 5 times a week. Or we can say, how often do you come here? I come here 5 times a week. How often do we live? We only live once. Okay, so let's practice. How often do you come here? How often do you come here? I come here.
Come here 5 days a week.
Very good. How often do you go to the cinema? How often do you go to the cinema? I go to the cinema
Go to the
about
cinema
once a month.
about a month.
Very good. How often do we live? How often do we live? We only live
We
once.
only live once.
How often do you text your friends? How often do you text your friends? I text my friends
I text my friend once a day.
once a day. Very good. Next, repeat. Health.
Health,
Healthy.
healthy,
Unhealthy.
unhealthy,
Fresh.
fresh,
Chips.
chips,
Salad.
salad,
Very good. Okay, listen. Health is a noun, while healthy is an adjective. The word unhealthy is the opposite of healthy. Newly picked fruits and vegetables are fresh. Chips like Lay's, potato chips, etc. are unhealthy snacks, but delicious though. If we put fresh fruit and vegetables together, we make a salad. Okay, let's practice. Is it good for the health to eat fresh fruits and vegetables? Is it good for the health to eat fresh fruits and vegetables? Yes, it's good for the
it's
health
good
to
for
eat
health.
fresh fruit
Eat
and
fresh
vegetables.
fruit and vegetables.
Which is healthier to have with our lunch, chips or salad? Which is healthier to have with our lunch, chips or salad? Salad is healthier
Salad is
to have
healthy
with
to
our
have
lunch than
for
chips.
lunch than chips.
Is it healthy to go to bed late every day? Is it healthy to go to bed late every day? No, it
No,
isn't
it
healthy
isn't
to go
healthy
to
to
bed
go
late
to
every
bed
day.
every
It's
day.
unhealthy to go
It's
to bed late
unhealthy to
every
go to
day.
bed every day.
Very good. Let's repeat. Agree.
Agree.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word agree is a verb. When you agree with something, it means that you think it's right or correct. For example, I agree that 2 plus 2 equals 4. Disagree is the opposite of agree. For example, I don't agree that Paris is an ugly place. I disagree. Okay, let's practice. 2 plus 2 equals 7. 2 plus 2 equals 7. Do you agree? No, I don't agree
No, I
that
don't
2 plus
agree.
2 equals 7. I
Seven.
disagree.
I disagree.
Do you agree that Paris is an ugly place? Do you agree that Paris is an ugly place? No, I
No,
don't
I
agree that
disagree.
Paris is an ugly place. I disagree.
I disagree.
Greg, do you always agree with everything people say? Do you always agree with everything people say? No, I
No,
don't
I
always
don't
agree
agree. I don't always
with
agree
everything people
with
say.
every with
Sometimes,
everything people say.
sometimes
Sometimes
I agree and
I
sometimes
agree.
I disagree.
Sometimes I agree,
Uh,
and sometimes I disagree.
Very good. Which is it right to say I agree or I'm agree? Which is it right to say I agree or I'm agree? It's right to say I
Right
agree.
to say I agree.
Very good. Let's repeat. Add.
Add.
Very good. Okay, listen. 13 plus 30 equals 43. I'm adding the numbers 13 and 30. To add means to put something to something or to put things together. For example, we put sugar. We can say we put sugar to our tea and coffee, or we add sugar to our tea and coffee. We add the letters ed to a regular verb to form its past tense. Let's practice. 14 plus 80 equals 94. 14 plus 80 equals 94. What am I doing? You're adding
You are
14
adding
and 80.
14 and
Is,
80.
is it complicated to add the numbers 15 and 30 together? Is it complicated to add the numbers 15 and 30 together? No, it
No,
isn't
it's not
complicated to
complicated.
add the numbers 15 and
Numbers
30 together. It's
together.
simple.
It's simple.
What do we sometimes add to our tea and coffee? What do we sometimes add to our tea and coffee? We sometimes add
We
milk
sometimes
and
add
sugar
milk
to
and
our
sugar
tea and
to
coffee.
our tea and coffee.
What do we add to a regular verb to form its past tense? What do we add to a regular verb to form its past tense? We add the letters
We add
ed
the letter
to a regular
D
verb to
in the
form its
verb
past tense.
form in past tense.
Very good. Let's repeat the jump.
Jump.
Very good. Okay, listen, jump is a verb. For example, I can't jump up and touch the ceiling because the ceiling's too high. I can't jump over the table with both my feet together. Okay, let's practice. Can you jump over this table with both your feet together? Can you jump over this table with both your feet together? No, I
No,
can't
I
jump
can
over
jump
that
onto
table
the over
with
the
both my
table
feet
with
together.
my feet together.
Very good. Can you jump up and touch the ceiling? Can you jump up and touch the ceiling? No, I
No,
can't
I
jump
can't
up
jump up
and
to
touch
touch
the
the
ceiling.
ceiling
Very good. Why not? Why not? Because the ceiling's
because
too
the
high.
ceiling is too high.
Can you jump as high as a house? Oh, can you jump as high as a house? No, I can't jump
No,
as
I
high
can't
as a house.
jump house.
Very good. Next, repeat corner.
Corner.
At.
At.
Very good. Okay, listen, the word corner is a noun. For example, this is the corner of the book. Okay, this is the corner of the book has four corners. One, two, three, four. The word at is a preposition. For example, we can't sit at the corner of a round table because a round table has no corners. Let's practice. What's this? What's this? It's the corner of the book.
Corner of the book.
Are you sitting in the corner of your room? Are you sitting in the corner of your room? Yes or no?
No, I
I'm
am
not
not sitting
sitting
in
in
the
the corner
corner
of my
in a
room.
corner of my room.
Can you sit at the corner of a round table? Can you sit at the corner of a round table? No, I
No,
can't sit
I cannot
at the
sit at
corner
the
of a
corner
round
of
table.
the table
Why not? Why not? Because a round table
because
has
a
no
round
corners.
table has no corners.
Very good. Where am I standing? Where am I standing? You're standing at the
You're
corner of
standing
the
at the
table.
corner of the table.
Where am I standing? Where am I standing? You're standing
You
in the
are
corner
standing
of the room.
in the corner of the room.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Ship,
Ship,
boat.
board.
Very good. Okay, listen, ship and boat are nouns. For example, the Titanic was a ship. We can't go by ship from Paris to Milan because both cities are inland. A boat is smaller than a ship. Let's practice. Can we go by ship from Paris to Milan? Can we go by ship from Paris to Milan? No, we can't
No,
go by ship
you can't
from
go by
Paris to
ship
Milan.
from Paris to Milan.
Milan. Why not? Why not? Because both cities
Because
are
both
inland.
cities are inland.
Is a boat larger than a ship? Is a boat larger than a ship? No, a
No,
boat isn't
boat
larger than
is
a ship.
larger
It's
ship
smaller than a ship.
than a ship.
Very good. Let's repeat. Almost.
Almost.
Very good. Okay, listen. Almost is the synonym of nearly. For example, almost everybody in my country has a mobile phone, or nearly everybody in my country has a mobile phone. Let's practice. Are we almost at the end of the lesson? Are we almost at the end of the lesson? Yes or no?
Yes, we
We
are almost at the end of lesson.
right? There's almost everybody in your country have a mobile phone. Does almost everybody in your country have a mobile phone? Yes,
Yes,
almost everybody
almost
in my
everybody
country
in
has
my
a mobile
country
phone.
have a phone.
Very good. Next, repeat. Desk,
Desk,
office,
office,
job.
job.
Very good. Okay, listen. A desk is almost the same as the table, but we use desk for working or for studying. We generally see people sitting at desks in offices and classrooms. An office is a noun. It is a room where a person goes to work. Job means work. For example, it's easier to get a good job in my country if you speak English. In some jobs, people can work from home instead of going to an office. Let's practice. Where do we generally see people sitting at desk? Where do we generally see people sitting at desk? We generally see
We
people
generally
sitting
see
at
people
desk
sitting at
in
the desk
offices and
and
classrooms.
offices and
In
classrooms.
some jobs, can people work from home instead of going to an office? In some jobs, can people work from home instead of going to an office? Yes, in some
Yes, in
jobs,
some jobs,
people can work
people
from home
work from
instead of going to
instead
an
of
office.
going to the office.
Is it easier to get a good job in your country if you speak English? Is it easier to get a good job in your country if you speak English? Yes, it's easier
Yes,
to get a
it's
good
easier
job
to
in
get
my
a good
country
job
if
in
you
my
speak
country
English.
if we speak English.
Very good. Next, repeat start.
Start.
Very okay. Listen, start is a verb. It means to begin. For example, our lesson begins at 6 o'clock. Our lesson starts at 6 o'clock. Let's practice. When does next season start? When does next season start? Next season
Next season
starts on the month
starts
of.
in the month of September.
Very good. Next, repeat birthday.
Birthday.
Very good. Okay, listen, birthday is a noun. For example, my birthday is on the 25th of March. We say happy birthday to people on their birthday. Let's practice. When's your birthday? When's your birthday? My birthday's on
My
the.
birthday is on the 20th of February.
Very good. What do we say to people on their birthday? What do we say to people on their birthday? We say
We
happy
say
birthday to people on their
oh,
birthday.
birthday to people on the birthday.
Very good. Next, repeat. Hi.
Hi,
Meet.
Pete.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
How are you?
Very good. Okay, listen. When we meet a friend, we can say hi and then how are you? How's it going? Or how are you doing? When we meet somebody for the first time, we can say hello, nice to meet you, and shake hands with them. Let's practice. What can we say when we meet a friend? What can we say when we meet a friend? When we meet
We
a
can say
friend.
hi when
Okay,
we meet friends.
very
We
good.
can say
That's also correct. How can we do? Oh, what can we do when we meet somebody for the first time? What can we do when we meet somebody for the first time? When we meet somebody
when we
for the
meet
first time,
somebody for the
we
first
can say
time.
hello,
We can say
nice to
hello,
meet you,
nice
and
to
shake
meet you,
hands with them.
and with them.
When you go to meet somebody, do you always arrive early? When you go to meet somebody, do you always arrive early? No. When I
No,
go to meet somebody,
to meet
I don't
somebody,
always arrive early.
always arrive
Sometimes
early.
I arrive
Sometimes
early,
arrive
and
early,
sometimes I
and
arrive late.
sometimes arrive late.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading.
Oh, reading.
Uh-huh. Okay, so
Okay.
our reading is at stage 2, page 200. Oh, start at page 152.
152. 152.
Stage 3. Stage 3, 152.
What's the word?
The word, oh, the very start. Okay, let's check. It's old, young.
152 old and
Two.
young. Okay. What's the difference between new and young? The difference between new and young is that we use new for things, whereas we use young for people. Is Miss Brown an older woman? No, Miss Brown isn't an older woman. She's a young girl, younger than. Are you older than your mother? No, I'm not older than my mother. I'm younger than my mother. The youngest. Who's the youngest in your family? I am the youngest in my family.
Very good.
Don't put on, take off, go out. What am I doing? You are putting your hand on the table. What am I doing? You are taking your hand off the table. What am I doing? You are putting your hat on. What am I doing? You are taking your hat off. What do we put on when we go out in winter? We put our hats and coat when we go out in winter. What do we take off when we come into a building? We take our hats and coats off when we come into a building. Holiday, Christmas, Easter. What are the two most important holidays of the year in Europe? The two most important holidays of the year in Europe are Christmas and Easter. What's Christmas?
When? When's Christmas?
Oh, when's Christmas? Christmas is on the
5th
25th of
December.
December. What's Easter?
When's
Easter, when's, sorry, when's Easter? Easter's in spring, either in March or in April. Full, empty. Is this box empty? No, that box isn't empty, it's full. Are your pockets full of money? Yes, my pockets are full of money. Is your stomach empty after a large meal? No, my stomach isn't empty after a large meal, it's full. Are the streets full of people during the night? No, the streets aren't full of people during the night. Moon, star. Can we see the sun in the sky during the night? No, we can't see the sun in the sky during the night. but we can see the moon and the stars. What color is the moon? The moon's the color of silver.
Okay.